We're going to talk about stress right now, and specifically the stress that you would have if you are a support person of somebody else, right? I'm going to give you a few different scenarios here of being that support person for somebody else. But it's really important to acknowledge and address this and to understand at all the things that you're butting up against in terms of taking care of your own health, your own body, and why it might take you longer to get certain results than somebody else if you have the stress of being a support person. I'm Dr. Beth Westie, women's health and hormone expert, author of the books The Female Fat Solution, The Female Menopause Solution. I'm also host of the podcast, The Female Health Solution. And you can subscribe to that as well as my YouTube channel and follow me on social media to make sure you're staying updated on all the things. So I also have my waiting list open right now for the next program I am running. So make sure you go in the comments, get on the wait list, because this group does fill and we cap it at a certain number of people because I want to make sure that each person in that group gets the attention that they need because of stuff like this. Because if this is not being addressed, it's really tough to navigate forward from it. So when we're talking about stressors overall, stress in general is one thing, but when you are the support person, it means that you constantly put somebody else first. Now, this is the case when you have kids that are really little, babies getting into toddlers. There is a certain time frame that this is your role, your job, but I want to tell you something. At some point, that ends. Your kids get older. That time frame, that time in your life, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and you'll get there. But if you have a child that has special needs, you are always going to be that support person for them. That puts a different stress and strain on your body versus somebody else's. And it's very normal to feel like you are constantly treading water and you barely keep your head above the water and you barely can come up for air and nobody's handing you a floaty. It's very normal to feel that way. What that does to your system is exhausting, day after month after year. Make sure you are taking the time and carving out the time and space for you and your health in whatever capacity you can. When we talk about being the support person for a spouse or significant other, this is also another realm that can be really exhausting. I have worked with thousands of women, right? And if your significant other is going through a tough time, maybe they have a history of addiction, maybe they're struggling with recovery, maybe they are going through a depressive mode. Maybe they, have a history of depression. Maybe there are other issues and factors at play. But you, as the support person, always being there for that other person can be exhausting because when they have a crisis, when they need something, oftentimes you will put your needs behind theirs to help them through. And again, it's a wonderful thing to be a very caring person and very giving for other people. But it is another thing if you are constantly putting yourself last and never making your health a priority. The stress of that can wear you down. And what I describe and how I talk about this, and just a different way to think about this, is that when somebody else needs a lot of support, right? When somebody else needs a lot of help, that's one thing, right? It's like a seed being planted. They need to bloom and grow. And you can be one thing for them, right? But it is not reasonable to expect you to be the soil, the water, and the sun. You can be one. You can be the soil. You can provide a good, nurturing environment for them at home. Great. But they need to find their water and they need to find sunlight somewhere else. They need to, especially an adult, right? A partner. That means that they would have to get help somehow, whether it be counseling, reading books, taking advisement, doing other things. It should not rest solely on your shoulders. For you cannot be the sun, the water, and the soil for somebody else all the time. That will wear you out. So for you to work on your own health and give yourself the space, the capacity to improve your own health and to still be the soil for that other person, you have to make time and space for you. Now, these are things that we talk about in the program that I run, and I want to make sure that you guys understand this and that really let this sink in. If you're like, holy crap, that is me. I feel like I have been all of these things trying to get this seed to sprout. Yeah, you're not alone. There's a lot of people who get in this position. But again, there is a time where you have to put you first. And if you have been struggling, do not wait. Do not wait. It is up to the other person to also get other support, to make sure that they can move beyond the stuck place that they're in too. So please let me know if you have any other questions. Let me know if you need any other guidance. Again, I've got a ton of information out there for you to dive into, but otherwise, let me know if there's anything else I can do, and I will chat with you later.